insights regarding what I call, hang on, let's get this out of the way so y'all can see what I'm trying to accomplish here. All right, so we're at Elevate. How is Elevate going for you guys? You loving it? I knew you would. We knew you would. It makes me very happy. Oh, this isn't good. Now I cannot get my screen to move forward. So there we go. So what I have been asked to talk about today is creating what we call a contagious culture. So that is a big, big thing to fill, right? And I know that is freaking you out a little bit because I'm using the word contagious. And I know that's maybe not a very popular word right now, but you know that I'm not talking about the virus kind of contagious. You know that I'm talking about influence. I'm talking about an influence kind of contagious. So here's the deal. So what kind of a culture are we going to be creating? Remember, your intention, your energy, your presence, all of these things have a very big impact and a huge influence on all the people that are around you. So you've got to always be present and remember that. And we're going to talk about being present in a minute. So recognize that the minute a leader walks into a room, she's setting the tone, right? So we got to think, she's setting the tone. In a bad mood, people are going to feel that. Are you an optimistic kind of mood? People are going to feel that. Are you worried? People are going to feel that. You really need to be very, very aware of your mindset. What are you bringing across? We always have to be aware of that because our presence is going to impact everyone around you. And this impact is felt by those around us. And guess what else? They pay it forward. And so again, if we go back to, are we worried? Are we in a bad mood? Or are we optimistic? Knowing the fact that your world is going to be paid forward is important to the important piece of this. It's that contagious piece. So if our way is going to be going forward into others, we want to make sure we're putting our best foot forward. So I want you to show up. I want you to set the tone, right? And make it be a good one. And always work toward creating a thriving environment. All right. It looks like I'm going to have to use my buttons. It's not like going on its own, which is okay. We know how to use buttons. We're very easy to get along with. Okay. So what do we got here? I want to get the group's reaction. Okay. I want to know. I want you right now to show me your energy. Show me your energy. Come on. Work it up. Work it up. Work it up. It's good. I feel it. It's good. I wish we could have unmuted ourselves so we could get that on a recording. Hey, can we do that? Can we unmute ourselves? Let's all unmute ourselves. And yes. I want to do that one more time. Well, you know,
like a dead animal.
You know, we had to do that. You know, we had to do that. I don't know what else to tell you.
That was great.
Excellent. Let out some of that energy. Okay, let's carry on. Let's go to our slide. Okay, there it is right there. I love it. That's some positive energy this group has, and it always does. So positive energy is positively contagious. Love it. Truth be told, what you also have to consider is the fact that so is negative energy. Okay. Yeah. Positive energy is contagious, but so is negative energy. So what are we going to do about that? So what are we leading with? We have to be aware of these kinds of things. And we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. The good news is, based on what I just saw, I know so many of you, and I know you thrive on creating that positive energy. And sometimes we have to dig deep. Sometimes we really got to find it. It's hidden in there. But you lead with that positive energy, and that is going to be impactful, and it's going to affect a lot of people around you, and that is going to be good for all of us. Interesting fact. I wonder if you knew this. Did you know that contagious energy compounds tenfold when it's coming from a leader? That's right. Tenfold when it's coming from you, the leader. So even more impactful because you're a leader. People respond to how you regard others. They're watching. Your presence alone is something they're responding to, right? How you show up in a room is how they're going to respond to you, and it's going to impact them. So know that you are the one that everyone is looking for guidance from. And I think you would agree. I think it totally makes sense. You are someone they may even look up to, right? So make sure that you're very aware of this kind of stuff. So how do we make sure you're bringing that positive, contagious energy to the group? Let's see if the clicker works. Oh, boom, there it is. Yay, my team. We are rolling. See, Debbie, we're rolling here. This is working out really well. All right.
Awesome.
So here's an idea. I've said it a couple of times already. It's all about awareness. I believe that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, I truly believe you contribute to your environment. I believe that how you contribute to your environment is truly just, if not more important than what you contribute. So again, it's that awareness I want you to think about. What are you contributing to the environment? Is it good, or is it something that is negative? You need to take a minute. You need to step back, and you need to mindfully analyze every situation and become more aware of the energy you are putting forth. In other classes that I've taught, I call it slow down the speed of your emotions. All right. You need to be aware, completely aware of what you're bringing to the table. You see, what happens is awareness gives us power to choose our energy. All right. It's our language. It can, and our reactions mindfully. So when we have this awareness going on, we have that power. And ultimately, what happens is it offers us the opportunity to influence others in a positively contagious kind of way, right? So awareness gives us the power, right? And as a leader, use it for good. Use it for good. So I can't explain to you or yell it from the rooftops enough to be mindful, be aware. Be the leader who is exuding that positively positive energy. When this is, and you know you're doing this right, because when people follow you because they want to, as opposed to they're following you because they have to. So you know you're doing it right, where the people are following you because they want to. So again, you need to be aware, because the slide says it all. Awareness is a key ingredient in success, right? And of course, if you feel that you don't have that, you want to hone that skill. If you have it, great, go out and teach it. If you lack it, I get it, go out and seek it. Okay, so awareness is a really big part of what you need to bring to the table as a leader who is trying to push that idea of a contagious, positive culture, right? I got to keep making sure you recognize that we want a positive culture. Contagious, yes, but it needs to be positive for sure. Okay, I love this slide. I've got to tell you, it's super simple, but it really is so true when we really think about how we are, right? So I need you to think about this little guy sitting here, hands on his hips, right? He's thinking about stuff. So we recognize that we are physically present. Our bodies are physically here. Okay, we get that. Where are we at here? Okay, now as salespeople, you recognize the fact that you may be already thinking about the next question. You may be thinking about what you're having for lunch. You may be thinking about, is this lady ever gonna stop talking? Who knows what you're thinking about? The problem is, what you need to do is you need to be in the present. Okay, I need you guys to stop obsessing over things that have already been done. I don't need you flying into the past unless it's relevant. But when you're in an environment where you are trying to encourage others, I don't need you to be in the past. Okay, I think overthinking the unknown is also something that could be a problem. Okay. You need to recognize that the now is what's important. All right. You need to be able to live in the now, and now is the part of your life that you can affect. We can't affect what happened in the past. It's already done. Can we use the knowledge to go forward? Sure, but we can't change that. We can't affect that. The future is unknown as well. And what we do in the present is going to have a lot to do with the way that future looks. So let's remember that we want to be able to live in the now, in real time. Experiencing life in the, experiencing life in the present moment is going to benefit you in so many different ways. You're going to find, you're going to have greater appreciation of so many things. You're going to have reduced stress. And I promise you, another byproduct is this negative overthinking is going to be much less negative overthinking. There's a quote that I like that says, there is only one time that is important, now. It's the only time we have any power. Can you see that there's some theme going on here? Right. So again, there's that power piece. It is the only time we have any power. Be present, not just in your body, but in your mind too, right? Be attentive to your surroundings. What are people saying? What are they doing? I need you to pay attention to other people's feelings and their needs. And then here's my Women's Council of Realtors leaders. Offer a helping hand, because nothing says positive energy more than helping others, right? And again, it's contagious, and that's how it gets paid forward. And it ends up being that win-win situation that we're looking for. So I need you to be present. Train your mind to be present. And I'm going to just add a little piece. We'll talk about it more in a little bit, but don't forget to smile. A simple smile is such a powerful piece of a contagious culture. Don't forget to smile. That's important too. All right, enough of that. Let's carry on. Because this is a shocker to me. And I work at this one all the time, quite honestly. So how else can we continue to create a contagious culture? Well, this is going to surprise you, but being kinder to yourself. And you are worthy, right? Self-care is not selfish. And who are we? We always put others in front of ourselves. We all do. I'm looking at I know who you guys are. I know how this works. You're worthy. Self-care is not selfish, okay? Because how you treat yourself is going to set the tone for how others are going to treat you. It's much easier also to be accepting of others when you internalize that sentiment of self-care. It's a lot easier, okay, if you are in that self-care world as well. Again, it's okay to prioritize yourself. You are, in fact, worthy. As a matter of fact, it is super important you do this. Creating a more successful life for others truly starts with you. Self-care is not a luxury. No, it is not. Self-care helps you move from simply existing, to living, which creates that great, contagious, positive culture we want, right? So you want to move out of just existing and you want to move into living, right? Existing is simply being on this little tiny blue dot of a world, right? Living is experiencing everything that this tiny blue dot of a world has to offer us. So again, self-care is not selfish. It's not a luxury. You need to do this, not only for yourself, you need to do it for everyone that you encounter. And another good little quote is, you can't pour from an empty cup. And how true is that? You can't do that. So here's another good tip. I want you to take the time to imagine, what's the end of 2021? What's that going to look like, right? 2020's past. What's 2021 going to look like? I want you to really imagine it. I want your imagination to run free. Imagine your future self, right? Doing that kind of stuff when you imagine your future self, it gives you the opportunity to stay focused on the positive self-care you are committing to. Ultimately, when you take care of yourself, it promotes happiness and confidence. So please, I know I spent probably a little more time on that than I should have, but I cannot express enough how very, very important that concept is. It really is an important concept. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. As a matter of fact, to quote Cinderella, she says, always be courageous and kind. All right. And there are many ways to manifest kindness. I've already mentioned it, but seriously, smiling, smile at people. It could make all the difference in the world. There are various studies that even show smiling is considered contagious, right? Think about it. You're in the hall. Now, I know we're not in the hallways, and I'm not trying to make you sad because we're not in the hallways, but when you're walking down the hallway, and don't we like smile at each other, right? We're in the elevator, we're smiling at each other. We got a spring in our step, right? So please, that tiny little piece of kindness could be that smile, right? So another piece, when I say it manifests itself in different ways, another one that I want to bring to the forefront is not to exclude people. Always be inclusive. Recognize the fact that a variety of experiences beyond our own totally allows us to be more responsive, and it reminds us that we are not in this alone. And that in itself will create that positive, contagious culture that we're looking for. Okay, so please always remember to be inclusive, be open-minded. Let's hear what others have to share with us. Let's see if we can take a piece of this, a piece of that, and make something beautiful that we're going to share with others. All right. Another thing as it relates to kindness, I always say stand up for what is right. What is right. Make sure you stand up for what is right. Do not be a bystander. Don't be just standing, oh, that wasn't right. Yeah, that wasn't right. You know, be that person that knows how to step in front. Okay. And recognize the fact that people notice when you take a stand. It totally shows your courage. And I want you to be brave. I need you to be brave. Be that leader that can stand up for what is right and not be a bystander, please. And let's see here. I'll give you another thought. Being kind can be as simple as just motivating others and with encouraging words, right? So using words are very, very powerful. I've said that in other presentations as well, but it always comes back around to, you know, words and things such as that. So let's go to the next slide because I think I have that quote that I love so much. Hangity, hangity. I do. How am I doing for time, Deb? Am I okay? Yeah, okay.
You're
okay.
fine.
All right, thanks.
Sure.
I know you guys are looking to go to the next thing. All right, so let's see here. Oh yeah, this is the quote. I use this all the time. As a matter of fact, this is one of the things that I have in my house. All right, because this is something you should abide by on a regular basis because we just were talking about words, right? We need you to, and words is the second piece of it, but where does it all begin? Words come from your thoughts, right? They start with your thoughts. So watch your thoughts because they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character because that is what becomes your destiny. And as great leaders in anything you do, whether it be the Women's Council of Realtors, the PTA, in your homes, this will apply. This will apply. So it starts with your thoughts, and then it ends up sliding all the way down, and it becomes your destiny. Okay. So the way we experience things is also going to determine how we think about things. So remember, it starts with your thoughts. So if we are trying to create a contagious culture that's positively positive, I sound like Mary Poppins there for a minute. Isn't that something she'd say with a spot of tea? But if we're trying to do that, remember, it starts with your thoughts, okay? So the things that you are experiencing, the things that people are experiencing around you are going to totally affect the ultimate outcome, which is your destiny and their destiny. So I say it to you again, please be aware of your thoughts, be aware of how it all affects everything. All right, what's next? I was worried I was going to go too fast. All right. So I don't know if any of you have been on any of the New Year hellos from the leadership team, but each one of we've got the West, we've got Central, we have East, and all of them reference this idea of think. And of course, it totally resonates with me because I truly do believe that your words are very, very powerful, right? And so when you are thinking about your words, you need to think about what the words are going to do. You need to think about how these words play into what's going to happen, right? So there are some people that you're going to run across that are just going to be this. They're just going to be this. It's not serving any purpose. And sometimes it's downright mean. All right. And that's why all these other things that I set you up with already today, right? This awareness piece. Okay. You got to be watching out for this stuff, right? Be kind, right? You've got to be aware of all of this. It's really super important that you be brave when things are being said to you. And you know, the reason it's coming your way is they want it to be said to someone else. Like they want you to be that catalyst. You're the leader. You are attempting to create a positive, contagious culture. So what is that going to look like, right? So with this word think, and each one of these letters stand for something you should automatically, this should become automatic to you, right? That when something is said to you and it's given the impression that it needs to be moved on to someone else, is what's being said true? Before you speak it, is it true? Okay, very, very important. And you're going to be able to go through this very quickly in your head. So you need to determine, is it true or is it gossip or is it someone just venting? Because sometimes people are going to tell you things and it's not supposed to be told to somebody else, right? So is it true? Is it gossip? What do we have going on here? H, helpful, right? Is what, if you were to share things with others, if the words you pick to use, are they going to be helpful? Do your words help someone make a good decision? Do your words help someone feel horrible? What are you doing? So before you think, how are those words going to be helpful? So true, helpful, simple enough, right? How about inspiring, right? Is it going to be inspiring? Words have the ability to influence people to do amazing things. Are you going to be someone with your words that is going to help inspire them to do amazing things so that contagious culture can keep building, right? So we can, that those amazing things will be paid forward and others will be able to use those amazing things? Inspiring. Do your words that you speak inspire others? And then we have N, necessary, right? Do the words really need to be said? Is it necessary? Now, sometimes some people give us too many words. We go on and on and on and on. And I'm not really speaking to that because I'm one of those people. But when I speak to necessity, I'm wondering if what you say, is that really something that has to be said beyond the conversation, right? Is it going to be something that is going to help them in some way? Are those words, are they going to be inspirational? All right. So is it necessary? Are they going to be helpful? Are they going to be inspirational? Is it really necessary? So I love that. And then last but not least, the word kind. You know, you can't go wrong with Cinderella. And again, as the old saying goes, if you can't say anything kind, what's the plan? You should stay quiet. Don't say anything at all, right? So be aware of everything that you have going on, right? And think this little acronym that the national liaisons are using when they are talking to the groups, I think is so powerful. I really felt it was important to bring it into, in an attempt to be consistent as well, to bring it into this presentation today with regard to a contagious culture, which we want it to be positively positive, don't we? So think before you speak. Run through this little trick of true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind. And I have a strong feeling that you're going to be A-OK in the end. I truly, truly do. So in the end, how am I doing? Am I okay?
Yes.
Oh, Holy moly, holy moly. And of course, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for picking to come and visit with us today. And I think you've made a great choice to join us in Elevate, because that's the whole idea. 2021 is going to elevate us. Once again, we're going to soar. I thank you so much for always sharing with me all these wonderful things. That's where I learned this from. I learned it from all of you, right? And now I've just been given the platform in order to share it with more. So recognize that I want to thank you for sharing your positivity with me in a contagious culture environment, such as the Women's Council of Realtors. And that word contagious has been given a bad rap. And but it can be used in a positive fashion as well. So I just want to make sure y'all recognize how much I appreciate you. And I thank you for your time today. Ta-da!